So in this video, we're going to be going over some easy steps that you can do to optimize the battery on your Samsung tablet. For this particular example, we're going to be using the Samsung Galaxy Tab S7 Plus, but as long as your tablet has close to the latest update of Samsung software running in it, a lot of these tips will be universal and work just as well. So if this is your first time checking us out on this channel, we do support videos that help you get to know your tech just a little bit better and make it work just that much better for you. So if you enjoy videos like that, go ahead and grab your tablet, hit that subscribe button down below, and let's get started. So one of the first things we're going to actually take a look at is turning off auto sync. And auto sync just basically syncs your accounts in the background as the day goes on, and that can actually use up a lot of battery. So if you go into your settings, you go into accounts and backup, account management, you have the auto sync option here, and you can switch this off. Now keep in mind that again, you're switching it off, so it's not going to be auto syncing. So you have to make a mental note that if you make any drastic changes or you want to go in and sync your accounts manually throughout the week, because any data that is lost forever because it's not syncing to your cloud accounts. So again, you're going to have to make that trade-off of sacrificing a little bit of battery for a little bit more work, because turning off the auto sync will save you some battery, but you're going to have to remember to manually go in and sync your accounts so you don't lose any information. So the next thing we're going to take a look at that can save you some battery as well is turning off auto updates on the applications that run within your particular tablet. These applications update automatically, and it does check for updates periodically. So if you have auto updates set up, it can use up some of your battery because it's always checking for those updates and updating applications that you may not use. So if you go into the actual Play Store, you're going to hit the settings option on top. Once you're in the actual settings, you're going to hit the general option, and within this general option, you're going to have the ability to turn off the auto updates on the applications. And again, this will just prevent the applications from running in the background, but similar to the tip that we had before, you're going to have to make a mental note to go in and check every now and then if there is an update for an application you use, because it's not going to do it automatically. So again, you're saving some battery, you're giving yourself just a little bit more work because you're going to have to manually go in and check for these updates. So the next one we're going to take a look at is putting applications to sleep that you may not be using or that aren't being used currently. And this is going to save you a ton of battery life because it means applications are just not running wild in the background and using up all your battery. So to do this, you're going to go into your settings, device and battery care, battery, and then you're going to go into background usage limits, and then you have the option to actually put the applications to sleep. You can just slide that on. You do have 3 other settings you can choose from. You can put them into deep sleep, you can put them into never sleep, and you can add to this list accordingly. So if you do turn this option on completely and you have a couple of applications that you don't want to ever go to sleep and you want them to run in the background and you don't care how much battery they actually use, you can add them to that never sleeping applications list, and no matter what, they will always stay relevant. They'll always stay running in the background, but for the most part, you can turn off the majority of the applications, and this can save you a ton of battery life on your device. And so the next one we're going to take a look at is making sure that your applications are optimized for battery use. And this just basically prevents the applications from sucking the battery. It's going to optimize these applications to not only run while you have them open, but run while they're just sitting there idle. For this, you're going to go into your settings, applications, and then at the very top, you see those 3 little dots. You're going to tap that, and then you're going to tap special access. And then you're going to tap on the optimized battery use. And in that drop down menu, you just select all, and then you can switch applications on and off. You can basically toggle any application you don't want to be optimized for battery use. I'm not sure why you would do that. Most of the applications that are compatible with this are automatically selected, so you can just leave the list as is. But if you notice that it's affecting any application that you use from day to day, as you turn this option on, you can go back in here and make that adjustment and just remove or add applications as needed. I would definitely suggest turning this option on because it does wonders for your overall battery life on a tablet. Another thing that's annoying and also sucks battery is getting constant notifications from certain applications. Certain applications just send you notification after notification, and that can eat up your battery life so much you have no idea. So one of the things you can do, if you notice there's an application doing that, you can turn off the notifications for that application. And this one is really simple. You're just going to go into your app tray, find the application, hard press on it. It's going to bring up this little menu. In the top corner of that menu, you're going to see that little eye. You press on that. It's going to go into the app information. You have your notifications setting there. You can just toggle that notification setting off. You can even just toggle the badge notification off as well if that's just an annoying part. But the actual notifications coming into your device will stop, and that will improve your battery over time as well. So another really quick no-brainer one is that you want to adjust your brightness settings on the screen itself. The brighter it is, the more battery battery it's going to use. But there's also a caveat to this one. If you go into your quick settings and where you would normally adjust the brightness, you do have that adaptive brightness option. I like to turn this off for the main reason that it's always just adjusting the screen brightness based on the lighting of the room that you're in, which can be extremely beneficial, but also use a ton of battery because it's always changing that particular setting on the actual screen itself. I found that this eats more battery than it saves. I definitely like to just find the sweet spot of the brightness screen that I like and then leave it there and turn off the adaptive brightness, and this helps me conserve some battery as well. And while we're on the screen, the next thing you can do is just enable dark mode. You see that I have it enabled on the tablet currently, and for aesthetic reason I like dark mode, but also for practical reasons it helps save your battery life as well, because there's not that much brightness on the screen. It's not using a ton of battery when you're going from menu to menu. And you can just go into your settings, display, and you can enable the dark mode here. And again, it does in effect save you some battery while still looking pretty cool. Some other quick tips on things you can do is turn off any unnecessarily connections that you're not currently using. So things like Wi-Fi. If you're not connected to Wi-Fi currently, if you don't think you're going to be connected to Wi-Fi in the next couple of hours, you can switch that off. If you don't have any Bluetooth devices being controlled by this tablet, you can turn that off. NFC, anything that you're currently not using connection wise can use up a ton of battery life. I think a lot more battery life than people notice. So make sure to go in and toggle these connections on and off as you use them. I know it's a pain in the butt to remember, but if you do need some extra battery life and you're in a pinch, this can actually squeeze out a ton of additional battery life for your tablet. Another thing you can do is take a look at your location-based services. Location-based services applications tend to request your location from time to time. If you approve that, then they are running in the background, and every hour or so they'll look at your location, which uses battery life, believe it or not. So one of the easiest ways to assess this is if you go into your quick settings, you see that location option, you hard press on that, it'll bring you into another location option, and then you can tap app permissions. And in that app permission, you can actually deny or kind of grant which applications you want to be updating your location from time to time. Obviously, there are going to be some applications that need to update your location, like maps or certain things like that. But if you see anything on the list that doesn't necessarily need a constant update of your location, you can remove it from the list. And the more apps that you have not requesting this information, the more battery you're going to end up saving in the end. Now, the two kind of no-brainer caveats to this particular list is making sure that your software is always up to date. If you go into your settings, you scroll all the way to the bottom, you're going to have the option to check for software updates. They don't always let you know when software updates are available, so you want to check periodically. And keeping this updated definitely helps fix some data leakage and also helps fix some bugs that may be caused with applications that could be eating up battery. You always want to update your software for security purposes, but also for performance purposes. And then if you're always in a pinch, you can just turn on the power save option. If you go to your quick menu again and you hard press, you can go into the actual power save mode, and it has different settings that you can adjust at the bottom, but it gives you an overall length of how long the power save mode battery life is going to be. 1 day and 22 hours. And then you can make changes like the CPU dropping down to 70%. You can turn that off, or you can decrease the brightness on the screen by 10%. You can turn that off. And even if you turn all these options off and it just goes into power save mode with all of these options off, it's still saving you a ton of time. So if you're ever in a pinch and you look like you're running really low on battery life, go ahead and go into power save mode, at least until you can get to a charger. This thing can actually end up saving you a ton of headaches. So that's going to do it for our support video. Changing these settings should definitely get you to get the most of the battery life on your Samsung tablet. Go ahead and make those adjustments so you can squeeze as much battery life as possible out of your device. Having more batteries always a good thing, never a bad thing. Now, if you have some tips that we didn't share within this video, go ahead and share them in the comment section down below. Be a smart friend, help the community out. People will definitely appreciate it. And if you enjoyed the video, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe button, and bell for notification, because that helps the channel out definitely. And while you're at it, check out some of the other support videos we have up on the channel now. And as always, guys, make sure to stay safe. And until I see you guys next time, peace out.